Welcome back to Gabie's Knit Goodies. I am wearing something that I've recently bound off, so we'll start with that. But first, find me at Gabie's Knit Goodies. My yarn is on Etsy, and what else? Oh, I have Gabie's Knit Goodies on Instagram where I post some pictures of what I'm working on, and GKG Yarn on Instagram where I post lots of yarn photos and some like a process of when I'm hand dyeing my yarn and stuff. Occasionally I'll put some videos of that up. Yes, as you can see, my yarn wall is actually pretty full. In fact, I haven't even had room to put up the majority of my Van Gogh Starry Night colorway. So I have them as well as some of my other yarns in this lovely box. And it's pretty. Lots of good yarn. So if you are interested in any of my hand-dyed yarn and want to support me in that, you can go to Etsy, Gabie's Knit Goodies. But it is time to talk knitting. And I am excited because I feel like this has been on my needles for a while, and it was on very small needles, US 1.5. So I am very excited to have it be off. Very excited. This is the 05 Tie Side Tank by Eleanor Alice Knits, and it's intended, I think, to use a cotton yarn, or the sample used a cotton yarn. I used Peaches and Cream merino nylon, which is this one, because I enjoy speckles and I enjoy knitting with wool, especially for these tiny needles and with a knit purl stitch pattern. I feel like knitting with cotton yarn might be, I don't know, might be more difficult because it doesn't have that give that wool yarn has. So it was fun to knit in a way, but it was also long for just the size. It's fingering weight yarn on 1.5 knitting needles, US 1.5s. Yeah, but I love the finished product, at least mostly finished product. Like I said, I bound off, I wove in my ends, which, to pat myself on the back for that because I'm not always good about that, but I have not done the ties. It's supposed to have some little ties that you knit. They're either ribbing or double knit, and then you attach them to that opening, the split on the side, so they're cute little bows. And at some point in time I will probably do that. I used 2 skeins of yarn for this, and I do have this this much left. So I'm gonna weigh it and see exactly how much I have, but I think it will be enough for my ties. I'm hoping it'll be enough for the ties. Yes, I will do a full like finished object review video on this at some point in time, probably once I get the ties done and I block it. I haven't blocked it yet, but I definitely don't want to stretch it when I block it. I want to very gently block it because I don't want it to change shape very much. So if you haven't seen my previous videos, I can tell you a little bit about the construction of this, and I have some video of me wearing it so you can see like the split in the side and all of that, that I will show either now or in just a minute. But it is a bottom-up construction, and you start it in 2 pieces, and then you join it in the round with a little like crossover section, and you are knitting the edging as you go. And then you split for your armholes, and you then knit it flat again and shape the neck, bind off at the shoulders with some shaping, and then you seam those together, pick up stitches and do a twisted knit regular purl ribbing. And it is a folded over ribbing here for the neckline. And I did that yesterday. It was tedious to finish it. So you have the live stitches on your needles and you fold it over and then you attach it to the where you had picked up the stitches on the inside. So you have to be very careful that things are aligned so it doesn't get like askew, so the ribbing doesn't look like angled and twisted. But then you knit those two together or purl those two together, depending on if it's a knit or a purl. So that was tedious and probably my least favorite part. I don't love picking up stitches, but that wasn't actually too bad in this. For some reason, it wasn't so bad. But I don't love that when doing the folded hems and stuff that you have to do the, I don't know, the attaching of the folded hem is not my favorite part. But it was okay. And it's done. And I do like how it looks. I think that the folded edging, like folded neckline, folded hem, looks very nice. And I also like the edging she put on here that you do as you go. It's just a like a knit one, purl one ribbing, but then there's a slip stitch in there. And at the end here, so kind of like I guess a little bit of an I-cord-esque edging. I guess you can call it I-cord, but it's only one slip stitch here at the end. So I don't know exactly. It looks very neat though. So I like it, and if I haven't already, here's my little video. Check it out. I have bound off the 05 tie side tank, and I love it. I think it's adorable. I'm not actually finished with it because I'm supposed to make ties to attach here, so it has a little bow, which is cute, but it's still totally wearable. I have not blocked it yet, so it'll probably grow just a little bit. I'm definitely going to be gentle in my blocking because I like the fit of it. I don't want it to get any wider, and the length is actually pretty good now too. It's not exactly cropped. These are like high-waisted jeans, and they definitely come much lower than my high-waisted jeans. So other knitting, I haven't made a huge amount of progress, but I did pick up and knit probably maybe 2 sections here on my Ingrid sweater, Ingrid summer sweater, in cotton yarn, handmade by me, and it is in confetti sky. Love the look, love the sweater, really want it done, don't really want to knit it. But it's mindless right now, so that's good, but it just kind of doesn't have give, so it's not as much fun to knit. But I hope to work on that before too long and actually make some progress in this, because the sleeves are long. So it's going to take a little bit of time, so I need to put some time into it so I can have it done. Because it would be a great sweater to wear, I think, all year long, because it's cotton and a little airy. But, you know, even in the wintertime, indoors, I could totally still wear it. Or at least wear it like, it'd be perfect early spring, and then maybe summer nights, and then now. It would be perfect right now. Again, this was the Ingrid summer sweater by Gregoria Fibers, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's it. I've been saying it for months now. I should know. Pretty sure that's what it is. I will put it up here, and the links to the patterns are below as well. And then the other one I've been knitting a little bit on is sweater number 20 again. That sleeve was done a couple times ago, and I picked up last time, and I've gotten, let's see, probably about this much done. So a couple inches maybe. A few repeats of the cable chart. Should probably only one actual repeat of the cable chart, because it's kind of a long one. Forget how many rows, but I think it's at least 20 rows, the cable chart repeat, just because they're all different and cross over at different times. But it's gorgeous, and I'm excited about it. My favorite things knitwear, sweater number 20. I am knitting it out of my own yarn that I sell in my shop, which is the DK weight merino nylon, superwash merino nylon. Calling it White Swan. And then the cloud fuzzy soft kid mohair and silk. So a little bit of progress there. And I knit on it, and I was wearing black linen pants the other day, and it looked like a cat had attacked me because of the mohair. Usually it's not bad, but for some reason those linen pants, I think, were kind of like, the texture of them was a little bit grippy, and so it like grabbed a hold of the mohair. So yeah. So that is actually all of the knitting I have to show you, so this is a very quick episode for me. However, I have something I'm planning on knitting, casting on very soon. So Fiber Tales, I'm pretty sure that is, I don't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure that's her like company name. She has the Gro Shawl, might be pronounced something else. She's not American. I forget where she lives, somewhere cold and beautiful, I think. Anyway, she has a lovely podcast called Fiber Tales, and she is also a pattern writer, and so she has this beautiful shawl, and I'll show that here. And I debated between this one by Melanie Hoffman, and another one. I'll try to put pictures of all three I was debating between. And this is for a gift for my sister-in-law. She has requested actually a shawl that she can keep like at work, because her work is very cold in her office, and she wants it just to be out of white yarn or an off-white cream kind of yarn. Yeah, so she wants a big shawl that she can throw on and just like leave in her office and wear it when she's cold in there. So I've sent her these 3 different ones, all of which I thought I would enjoy knitting, and they kind of gave the vibe that she was after. So she chose the Gro Shawl, which I'm very excited to knit, and a little nervous in some ways, and I'll tell you why. But first, I debated so long about what yarn to use. I did not want to buy the Nutiden, I think is how it's pronounced. It is unspun wool, and she used it in her sample held double. So weight-wise, it's like maybe a DK weight. It's not very heavy weight-wise for the amount of yardage when you hold them double. So I think by itself it's more like a fingering weight maybe. However, her stitch count, her gauge is only 14 stitches per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So that's where my debate came in, is do I use a thicker yarn and try to meet gauge? Do I use a thinner yarn or maybe even add the mohair in it, make it fluffy, or alpaca. Like I have brush alpaca that I could do, and so that's a lightweight, but it takes up a lot of room. So there's a lot of options here. What I decided not to do anything with fuzzy on it, because like if she was wearing a black, shirt, the fuzzies could get on there. And if it's something she wants to be able to throw on over anything, I just wanted to be considerate or thoughtful of that so that she could use it at any time. So I ended up deciding to go actually with my Aran Weight merino. This is 100% superwash merino, and it is, let's see, it's only 2-ply, and it's somewhat loosely twisted. It's not like a high twist, like my DK weight yarn is a 4-ply, and it's fairly like fine twist, a high twist. A lot of times the more plies you have, the more defined your yarn is. It's durable, and it's just it has wonderful stitch definition, but it's a little less airy feeling. Whereas this one, I call this Polar Bear Aran yarn. It is, so I guess actually it's 3-ply, not 2-ply. It's 3-ply, but it's very fluffy and very kind of light feeling, if that makes any sense. Very squishy and fluffy yarn. So yeah, so I think that this will work well. Sometime between now and my next podcast, I hope to have at least a swatch of this. The fear comes into play, like I was talking about, is that you cast on the, so it's a right triangle. Here we go, right triangle, math lesson here. And you cast on that one long edge, not on like a point. So it doesn't start with like a few stitches and grow. If it did, then you would be able to, make it as big as you wanted, or as big as the amount of yarn you had. You wouldn't have to choose kind of your size and have that first cast on edge depict your entire size of your big triangle shawl. And I've seen some people where theirs is much smaller than hers is in her sample pictures, and I want it to be big. So that was my fear, and that's kind of why I ended up going with this versus maybe a lighter weight yarn, because I would rather err on the large side than the small side. Yes. So if I do a swatch, I should be able to kind of figure out if it's what my end product will be, relatively speaking. So like I said, it starts off with that one long side, and then it gets smaller as it goes to the point. And it has some like these little braids up it, which like you do towards the, like at the end. So I find that interesting. And you start with flowers, like there are lines, and you start with these little flowers. So I think that will be really pretty. And then I think that after you get past the flowers, I think it's pretty mindless until you are like doing those braided sections. I think that'll add some extra stuff going on. So, and that's a new thing that I've never done before. So anyways, I am excited to knit it. I'm hoping that it goes by relatively quickly because it's in a big yarn. I mean, I don't want it to be a super fast knit. I don't need it to be a super fast knit because it's not quite even September yet. But I don't want it to take all of my time between like now and Christmas. Anyways, if you can hear beeping, that means you can hear something going on in my kitchen, and so I will go attend to that. Thank you for letting me talk to you about my knitting and think through some of my knitting plans. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time, and I hope you get time to relax and craft and drink a cup of whatever is your favorite. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Although as fast as I've been speaking, maybe I don't need it. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye.